they say, is Donald Trump an intellectual? Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
That's the best quotes ever. Welcome to the Stiff Shafts podcast, where the conversations are long and hard. I'm Zach.
I'm Seth.
And we're going to be talking about the 10 most annoying things that we find whenever we play golf. And then after we go through the list, we have some that didn't make the cut because we both came up with 10. And then we decided the top 10 of the ones we came up with. And there were a couple that were the same, so that was pretty easy. To start off with number 10, we have unwanted advice. And that was one that I came up with, but he agreed with because it's like when you hit a bad shot and then one of your partners is always like, well, this is what you need to do. And you're like, I just fucking hit a bad shot. I'm already mad about it. I don't want you to tell me what I did wrong.
Yeah, it's really annoying because most of the time you can figure out what you already did wrong. So it's just them adding on to it on top of it. And they know you don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell you.
Especially if you've been playing for a while and like, you hit it bad and you kind of have your swing kind of down a little bit. And then you know what you did wrong. Like you topped it or you took a big chunk before the ball. And they're like, well, you hit behind the ball. And you're like, no shit. I was there when it happened. And it always seems like it comes to those bad hits. Like whenever you finally get like a bomb drive, hit it 280 straight. You get to the ball, second hit lies good. Chunk it, top it,
Completely miss it. But yeah, so that's one of the things that's most annoying. When you hit a bad shot, you just kind of want to be left alone. And then it's just always at the worst time. It's never when you hit a good shot, they're not like, oh, well, I know what you did there to make it happen again. It's always during a bad shot. So it's not too annoying, but it's why it's our number 10. And then, so number 9 is not finding your ball you watch land right in the middle of the fairway. I particularly have this problem constantly. Well, I'll hit a good drive. We all see exactly where it went. We go up there, drive up there, nowhere to be found.
And in our foursome, me and him are normally the partners. And then we play against my dad and like this old dude who's like my second cousin removed or whatever it's called through marriage. And it's always his drive. He'll hit like a long straight drive and I'll have like a, slight shank and we go right to where we saw his ball land and it is just gone. And then it's happened to me a few times, but he's like the fucking king of hitting the ball and it not being found for some reason.
Yeah. And it's annoying for him also as always a good shot. If I hit a terrible shot, you can fucking find that.
Sitting there nice and pretty to be seen.
Right in the middle of the fairway, it's always me.
And it doesn't help us because we normally keep score against them. So when we're playing against them and we know we got a good drive chance to get up on the hole, we never find the ball. And then we find mine off in the rough behind a tree or something because I slice it off the drive.
Yeah.
So we're pretty good at playing from behind trees and out of like terrible lies at this point.
Not good from fairways. In the rough or in the woods, hit a decent shot out of nowhere.
Fairways are foreign ground. It's too ideal of a situation to hit. It just doesn't work. So moving on to number 8. This comes from a few people. We won't name them, but people who don't follow the course rules. They like drive up by the greens or they go past a cart path only signs. And that is just, it's pretty annoying. You like playing golf and there are rules and you play it and you don't want to get in trouble or kicked out of the course or have the marshal come through and be like, hey, I see you guys doing stuff like that again. And then you always play with someone who just doesn't care and they'll drive. It'll be like a par 3 cart path only and they drive straight down the fairway.
That's even right after you say, hey, just remind you this hole was cart path only, and then 2 seconds later they're driving right in the middle of the fairway and you're like, what the hell, man? I just told you.
You're stressing me out and that makes me play worse.
It seems like every time that we play with somebody who does that, it's court marshal always comes and talks to us about it, and it's like, well, it's not us. You see us in our cart right here. They're the ones over there doing it. Go talk to them. So it's just a good way to get kicked out of a golf course for no reason other than stupidity.
Yep. And golf's a pretty mental game, at least for me. And it gets me out of my element because it's like, you're not supposed to be doing that. And you're doing it, and I don't know why I shouldn't let it bother me, but I do. I guess because you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
And then it makes me mad and makes me play worse.
Frustrates. Oh, yeah. And So the next one is number 7 is a bad shot or the one hole that ruins the rest of the round for you. So you can be playing good, low score all day. You make one bad shot, play one bad, and then for the rest of the day you cannot get that one.
It's like you play the first few holes good, you're in, and then you just like halfway through you just forget how to play golf. It's like, oh yeah, just hit, driver good, birdie the last hole, double bogey, triple bogey. It's like, what in the hell is going on? Why am I here? I don't even know how to play this game anymore.
The problem is when we scramble, one of us will hit a bad shot, and 95% of the time we'll hit another. And we're not like other scramble where the other person will pick them up as if one of us has and then we'll both hit 2 good shots the next time. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
The one thing is just it gets in your head and you can not get out of it for the rest of the day, and that's when you end up getting a beer or 2 and then you get too drunk and
Then you don't play any better.
but you feel a little better.
Yeah. It's like I don't know, maybe it's like you're over or it's like you overthink because you played like shitty on that hole. You start overthinking everything instead of just trying to relax and get back into it, and then you're making more mistakes on top of it, and then you just maybe, like when it happens to me normally on like hole 17, I guess I'll just be fed up with it and quit caring because I can't figure it out, and then I'll play like 17 and 18 decent, and I'm like, why couldn't I have just kept doing that the whole time?
Well, it's like if you chunk it and then the next shot you'll be like, oh well, I better not chunk it again, so then you top the hell out of your ball, and so the next time you're like, well, I'm not going to top it, and then you shank it, and then you just like,
Can I find the middle? Right in between those two is where I need to be.
it's just annoying, and everybody knows it. Just playing golf, everybody's done it. Nobody hits a perfect shot.
If they did, we'd all be pros and we'd have a lot more money.
It'd be a pretty boring sport to watch if everybody just hit a hole in one.
All right, so for number 6, we have not getting ready for your shot while your cart mate's hitting. So especially in like a scramble situation, or even if you're not doing a scramble, but you have your cart mate, it's super annoying when like you're behind the people who do cart mate, or even if they're in a foursome, they'll all go to one person's ball, and he'll get out and get ready, and then they'll just sit in their cart, and then go to the next, and it slows the pace down so much. And if you were in a rhythm, it takes you out of your rhythm.
Well, even if like their ball is right next to the other guys, they'll still just sit there in the cart,
Not get their clubs out,
stand next to your ball, and be ready to go. They'll wait till they swing, and the guy sits down. Then they get out of their cart, grab their club, and go to the whole thing. And it just makes no sense. I've also seen it where you've been playing where there's 2. It's a scramble. It's like a 2-man scramble, but there's 4 of them, And then so one person of each scramble team would be in the other cart. So one guy would hit over here. They'd have to drive the cart over there to hit. And they'd drive it back to the other one, their ball. And it's like, well, why the hell don't you all just get into one cart? Because you're slowing everything down.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious. I mean, especially if like you're playing good, you got your rhythm going, and you're ready, you're carrying your momentum to the next hole, and then you sit on the tee box. Where we've played where we've sat on the tee box for 30 minutes waiting for people to get even out of driving range. And I like to wait till they're at least on the green or done with the hole, so I can play the whole hole at once, instead of like, so it's like a 500 yard par 5, or it could be a long par 4, whatever, and they're 350 yards out, still got 150 yards to the green, whatever the math is. I'm not going to hit it 350 yards even if I hit it good. But in my mind, what's the point of driving? Because then I'm just going to drive, go to my ball, and I still have to sit there and wait.
It just, when the pace is slow, it just throws you completely out. You can't get a rhythm going. It's just kind of defeating.
Especially when it's summertime and it's 100 degrees out, 90% humidity, you're sweating your balls off. The beer cart girl hasn't been around in an hour.
I don't mean to be an ageist here, but we all know the type of people I'm talking about. They're retired old. Every single time.
Probably most of the time they're members there. They play every day. They don't give a shit about people who aren't members, who are weekend players, I guess is what they would call it. Because if when you're working, most people don't play during the week when the the work week, they get off work and they got, responsibilities. You got to go home to your kid, your wife, or you just got to go home and enjoy the air conditioning. So you only play on the weekend.
I don't understand why somebody would want to be out there for like 6.5 hours. Jesus. And when it's hot as hell outside. So then number 5 will be the angry partner that ruins it for the whole group. And I'm sure everybody's had this one guy. If you're that guy, you may not know it, but
if you don't know it, you're probably that guy.
You start talking shit to somebody, and then they say something back, and then this person will get all pissed off and just gets in his feelings and just ruins it for everybody else and just makes the whole day bad.
Yeah, like people who are, yes, it's normally one person of the group. And like when we play, we like to talk shit because obviously none of us are pros and, we're playing for fun, but we like to run our mouths because we're not good. And, we're not saying anything, hurtful, but like they'll do it too. And then you just say one thing about when they had a bad hit, like, oh, nice hit, and then they just all of a sudden get mad whenever they just said the same thing to you, being sarcastic. And you're like, why are you getting mad and ruining the mood for everybody whenever you are talking shit too?
And it's not even that, like, talking shit either. It could be a compliment too. It's like, oh man, good hit. And I was like, just remember what you did,
Yeah, that's a big one.
That was good. And do that.
Like, remember what you did. It's like, well, you said that to me when I had a good hit.
You said that, 2 holes ago, and I didn't get pissed.
Yeah. I hit it good. And you're like, remember what you did. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. If I could remember what I did, I'd hit it good every time. But I didn't get mad because you're being nice.
Yeah. So then you got to walk on eggshells for the rest of the round because you don't want to rile that person up anymore and make it even worse.
Or end up just playing worse so they think they're doing better. So you get the mood back up so you can go back to having fun.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand you get angry at yourself, but there's no point in taking it out on, say, your partner or the other people you're playing with. Don't ruin somebody else's day at golf because you ruined your own.
Especially because, we're out there to have fun. We're not out there to compete. We're not doing tournaments. And if we do, most of the time they're like, fundraisers for like a missionaries trip. Or me and my wife did one where it's just like a fundraiser for like youth golf and to allow just raise money for like more underprivileged kids or not people who don't necessarily have the money to buy their kids nice clubs and take them out to play golf and learn the sport, because golf's kind of expensive in that sense, especially if you want your kid to get good enough to be in play in like college or high school or whatever. Like they want to play golf but they don't have you can't really afford to take them and do it yourself until they can get to like a high school team.
So
where are you going with that?
You're just talking about the tournaments and how.
Oh, well, yeah, I was leading to we're not doing anything like a serious tournament to where like if you take first you might win like $1,000 or more.
Pro-am or anything. But the whole point of golf is to get away from your regular life, hang out with friends, hit some balls, and just have a nice relaxing day.
And to dress nice.
Always got to look sharp.
Yeah.
But so if you don't know a guy in your group, it's probably you, and you should probably look at that and try to change it.
Yep. If you're ever playing and then all of a sudden everyone else around you gets a little, you're probably the guy.
You're probably the one.
Yeah. Alrighty. So for number 4, this one's really annoying to me. I guess some people it might not, but teaching people to play on the actual golf course, like playing 9 holes or 18. I guess that one's fine if you do it like when no one else is around, but like playing with people who they're teaching them how to play really throws your game off and it slows everything down. And it's like, take them to the driving range.
That or like play on a weeknight or something like that.
Yeah.
This like scenario seems like it always happens. Like a guy with his 2 kids or, somebody else or a friend, and it's like 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning and they're holding the whole course up. It's like, well, that's the busiest time of week, either like a Friday or a Saturday or Sunday morning. Don't do that. Do not do that. Don't slow the whole course up trying to teach somebody, because the person getting taught is going to feel rushed all day too, because they just see people standing behind them, so they're never going to get comfortable. So if you're going to teach somebody, do it at the driving range or like on a slow day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's annoying. It's obnoxious. It's like, I understand you want them to play and to play with you, but just do it at a different time. Yeah. I mean, or, go to the range with them, play, have them get a lesson, pay for them to get a lesson with a person. You're probably not the best teacher anyway. And just don't ruin, because
everybody thinks they're.
Yeah. I mean, we all want to play golf, for fun. You say 4 hours on average. That's kind of what they figure.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be there all day either. I still want to do other stuff. Or I want to play, we like to play in the morning, then eat lunch after. And then, by then it's 1, maybe 2. And then you still got, the rest of the day to do whatever you might want to do. Or you might want to just go home and relax from working all week and then playing 4 hours of golf. So don't make it a 6-hour thing, which I guess is kind of links with the other one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
number 6.
If you want to be out there all day, play 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just play 1 round super slow. Play a round, take a couple hours off, go back out that night. Play.
Or just schedule it the golf course in our town after 3 o'clock. Almost nobody really plays. You just get schedule it then. So then you can take 6 hours if you want to take 6 hours, and don't do it at a high traffic time.
Our third one, top 3. Number 3 is playing with someone who can't count and never believes your score. I mean, I'm sure everybody's had this. We've had multiple arguments. You can see it in his videos.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them I know where I'm standing there arguing with one of the guys we scramble with, and you can sit there and you can count the shots out.
And he'll agree with you while you're counting them.
And then he's like, "Oh, bullshit."
And then there was another stroke. You hit there and you're like, you watched us not do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
You can hit a fucking hole-in-one with this guy, and he'd still tell you you shot flat.
They'd be like, oh, you didn't hit a hole in one. You walked up and 2-putted while we were coming up here. It's like, yeah, you caught me. This is the one time I decided to be like, fuck these guys. I'm going to cheat.
Well, it's we lose almost every time anyway. So what the hell does us gaining a stroke help? Because we're still going to lose by 3 or 4 strokes anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just something they get so fucking pissed off about it. Because if you're just out there to play fun and somebody wants to, oh, I got a 3 on that. Who cares?
Yeah.
If you're not playing in a tournament or whatever, and you know that you're beating that person, so just let them play the game they want. Like with my brother, what was it when he was hitting out of the sand track?
Yeah.
Well, the back of your feet doesn't count as a stroke.
Yeah, that's why you're scoring so close to us, and we've been playing 3 years more than you have, dude. That counts as a stroke. That is definitely a stroke. Which, keeping score, I guess, it's fun to do. We like to do it because it does add competitiveness to it, and it's kind of fun. If you're not a competitive person, it probably doesn't matter to you. Just like playing golf, we like to be competitive. It's fun. But whenever the person does stuff like that, even though you're not competing for anything, it is frustrating because it's you're saying you're as good as me, which really shouldn't matter to me, but it kind of does, because I've been doing it for a while and you haven't. So just throwing yourself up there by not keeping score correctly and then trying to act like we're the same.
Yeah.
It just makes you mad. It pisses you off. You're like, dude, I don't if you were that good, honestly, I'll be glad. I'd be like, cool, But when you're cheating and then you're trying to tell me that you're freaking the same caliber as me whenever you're not keeping score correctly and you're doing stuff like that, it's
trying to give you advice when you're shooting 20 over under what they shot. Well, I know you did wrong. Well, you should probably figure out what you're doing wrong first before you try to tell me. But that's one of the things is the arguments. That's another thing that can piss you off, and then all day for somebody else too. So it's kind of in the same category. You can literally be like, hey, you hit the shot and be like, hey, that's 1. You go to the next one, hey, that's 2. Until you get to the green, and then you putt, and then they'll still be like, nah, there's no way. There's no way.
No.
And then with him, it's we have video footage.
Yeah.
We can show it to you.
You can. And I was using that Arcos Caddy app that tracks your swing. It's got the thing in it. And I'd pull it up and I'd be like, look, it tells you when I hit the ball out and everything. And he'd be like, oh, no. And I'm like, the only thing it might not pick up is sometimes the putts. And you're arguing that we didn't even get to the green in 2 strokes or whatever it was.
And it'd be like, oh, you 4-putted. No, we 2-putted. You were standing right there and watched.
it might have looked like we 4-putted because there's 2 of us and it's a scramble. So we 2-putted, but we putted 4 times. Yeah, like 2 each. That's 4. Yeah, you're right there, but that's not how scrambles work. Alrighty. So moving on to number 2, we got too many practice swings. This one's annoying if you ever played with someone, because most of the time it's people who don't know how to play or they're either really good. But either way, it's really annoying because so we were playing with my brother and he's played like 5 times maybe. He has potential, but he's not there yet. And he takes forever because he does so many practice swings. And we counted one time, he did 9 practice swings before he hit the ball. So he swung 10 times and it took so long. And we're like, dude, what are you practicing? You don't know how to hit a golf ball yet. You're training to swing incorrectly. Like
then their practice swings will look good. But then when they go to actually swing the ball, they do not do anything of what they just did the 9 times before. Which I understand, like, you take a couple, you knew.
Try to get that feel.
Yeah, I mean, everybody will take a few practice swings. I try not to because I always end up wasting my good swing. But
it's that little ball in front of you, you know?
And then you'll see that, or you'll see, like, the person, like, going their backswing and just hold it. What are you waiting on? Go! It's another thing that's key to play. And there's not a lot to, everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. There's not a lot to talk on that point, but it's our number 2 most annoying thing.
It's just watching it. It's
just frustrating.
It's devastating. It's like, oh my goodness, come on. And then you think like the 5th one, you think they hit it. And you see them do a practice swing. You're like, are you kidding me? You didn't hit it that time?
Start doing more practice swings. That or if you chunk the ball like 2 foot in front of them, they'll do 9 more practice swings. If it didn't help you the last time, so
let's just try hitting it. Go. Don't even think about it. Hit it.
And so the number 1 on our list for the most annoying things with golf is when you play with a person who will hit their ball completely in the woods or anyway, and then you're like, there's no way you're going to find that. Like,
essentially out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Like OB, they will spend 15 minutes looking for the ball in the woods. Like, what are you doing?
Or it could be the tall native grass they have for texture on the course or whatever. Yeah. And then they come back like with 10 balls. None of them are theirs. Like, well, I was looking for my ball and I just found all these balls. We're like, fucking, can we play, please?
Like, you're holding us up, look for balls. You're not hitting, $5 Pro V1s. You're hitting $1 noodle.
Yeah, they're not expensive. And plus, it's fun buying new balls. They're shiny, they're white or whatever color. They're still clean. You're like, yeah, I'm going to lose this ball.
You want to go searching for golf balls, do it on your own time when you're not playing.
Yeah. You just walk the course. Most places let you walk the course.
Especially public golf courses, they'll have a place where you can walk around the course, like paths and stuff, and then just go in the woods there on your own time.
Not on my time.
Not on my time.
I'm here to play golf, not wait for you to look for golf balls.
Ooh, I found 6 Pro V1s. Ooh.
Cool, you're going to lose them, so...
You're going to shake them back into the woods.
Like, if you need balls, I'll give you some balls. Oh, no, I've got plenty. Like, well, yeah, I know why, because you do this all the time.
Well, if you have plenty, then why are you going?
Just drop the ball. Just drop a ball where you think it went out and play.
Yeah, take a stroke.
That's the important part. That goes back to not keeping score correctly. Like he's talking about his brother. He's my cousin. Was back to your feet. So, like, drop the ball and take the stroke. You don't get to drop the ball and keep playing like that was your hit.
Well, I know it crossing right here, so I just can't find it, so I'm not going to take a stroke.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's not how it works. Not how it works.
But if you're one of those people, quit doing it.
It's annoying.
I mean, it's annoying. Unless you're playing by yourself and there's nobody around you, then go look for the ball. But if you're playing with other people, don't be digging in the woods.
Well, even if you're playing by yourself and like it's at a busy time, which they probably won't let you play by yourself, but somehow you get to, there's probably plenty of time for you to actually do that without slowing up play, because most people play with like 4 people, so you're going to finish a hole theoretically significantly faster than the 4 people. So you have time then, but you still shouldn't, because it's annoying, because you can slow people down still.
That, or if you're waiting in the fairway on slow people in front of you who won't let you play through, like, then you can look.
Yeah, then, I mean,
time there. There's always time unless you're out on the course by yourself and no one's pushing you.
Just don't do it whenever you're in the middle of the hole. You're around whatever hole you're on.
We were playing the other day, and the person we were playing with, we hit on the left side of the fairway. They hit it into the other fairway. We all saw where it went. we were sitting
He
there.
asked from the box. He's like, where'd that go? I was like, way right in the woods immediately. I guess he didn't fucking believe me.
Yeah. So then we go and we're at his ball waiting.
That was his second hit because he found his ball.
And so we're sitting there waiting. And then it's been like 5 minutes. I'm like, where the hell is he at? Like, it was just right over there. We told him we went out of bounds. And then so here comes a ball flying, almost hits the cart.
After looking for 5 minutes, damn near hits us with the ball.
The complete wrong direction. He just like,
He hit it like 90 degrees from where it went out, and not like the hole's that way, and he hit it that way.
And we're like, what the hell? And he's like,
He comes up, do you see my ball?
did you see my ball? Yeah, it almost hit us.
Like, since you got up here, we were yelling at him, it's over here, and he's just driving around. Look, he's like, did you see my ball?
Here.
Yeah, for the 10th time, dude. It's right here. You just about hit us. Can you hurry up?
So that's our most annoying.
That was what made the top 10. We're going to do honorable mentions, or, ones that didn't make the cut real quick, but you can let us know what yours are, or, if some of the stuff doesn't bother you, let us know in the comments or whatever, or don't. I don't really give a shit, I guess. It'd be cool to know, but, whatever. It's a free country in America, kind of mention stuff. But
first honorable is playing slow and not letting people play through.
Yeah, that almost made the cut, but that one, I guess, it's kind of annoying, but
Let's see, we understand.
it's annoying, but
A busy day, everybody's going to be backed up with that one team. But if there's nobody ahead of you and you got people waiting on you, let them play through.
you most likely know you play slow. So, I mean, just, tee off, and when they get off the green and get behind you, just let them tee through, or just wait at the tee box and let them go through, so then you guys can both play your games of golf.
That, or if you're letting somebody play through, don't follow them and get right on their ass.
Yeah, don't let them tee off and then go up there, then immediately tee off.
Let them play through fully and then go. Because we played people, and that's what they do. We'll let somebody tee off and let them play through. Like one or two people that are playing fast. And then as soon as they do, they go to the ball. The people we play with tee off and then try to ride their ass. So
Like, why are you doing that?
We wanted to play fast. We would have picked up the pace and not let them catch up.
We wouldn't have needed to let them play through. It's also vice versa. We played where we played through, and people do that.
That to us, and they start hitting into you all day.
And you're like, what? Why are you playing quick now? But so then we got people who show up. These aren't in any specific order. We just threw them in there. People who show up at the tee time and not before. Like, your tee time is like when you're supposed to be teeing off, not when you get there to check in. That slows everybody down. If you can't get there till your tee time, you can call ahead and be like, hey, we're going to be late. Then most likely the tee time after you is probably already there, so they can let them go off, so then they can play, and when you get there, you can play.
We have people we play with that we lie to them about the actual tee time, so they'll show up early.
Tell them like 20 minutes before the tee time's when we tee off, so they get there like 30 minutes before when we normally get there. So get there about the same time. Fine.
It's just annoying to be standing on the tee box. Call the person, where you at? Oh, I'm pulling in right now. Pulling in right now. Why?
Why?
You're supposed to be here.
We told you the tee time. But I like, I don't understand why people do it anyway, because I like to get there, get checked in, get everything, and I don't necessarily have to hit balls or anything. I might, get a small bucket or, do some chipping and putting, but I like to be there and know I've got some time to get in, the golf mindset. Just kind of get relaxed, because you got to be relaxed and fluid. You can't, like, if you've ever been late. I was late this past, I think it was about fall, because I thought the tee time was later than it was. I was miscommunication, essentially. And so like the first 4 holes I played like dog shit, because I still felt rushed from getting there, 5 minutes before the tee time. So you pay, do whatever, and you're already a couple minutes behind your tee time.
I called him. I was like, hey, the guy says we can tee off whenever. And he was like,
still 10 minutes out.
We're still 10 minutes out. I was like, well, the tee time's in 5 minutes, man.
I was like,
luckily nobody else is on.
Yeah.
But just be on time. Really annoying.
Be before time.
Or be before time.
10 minutes early is 20 minutes late.
Then the next one we have is when you're playing, and kind of like course rules too, but people who are playing loud music or yelling constantly, like on the adjacent holes. And
like, if you make a great putt, yell. Yeah. Everyone expects that. If you made like a hell of a putt, or you gotta, even if you got like a hole in one on a par 3 or whatever, that's not what we're talking about. That's I would do that. I'd scream because it's exciting.
Talking about the guy who's slamming back shots at the bottle. He snuck into the golf course playing Kid Rock on 20.
And then yelling every hit.
Hey,
It's like, dude,
Shut the fuck up.
I didn't come here to hear you.
Like, I'm trying to concentrate.
But what's weird about the playing music one, even if like it's not loud, but like you get close enough you can hear it, that still kind of bothers me a little bit. And I don't know why, because like if we choose to play music, we don't play it loud, but that doesn't bother me. But when someone else is doing it, it's like, hey, motherfucker.
Play like cell phone halfway up.
And leave it in the cart.
Yeah.
And you like when you're out even hitting, you can't hear it.
Now, if you're going out like a nighttime and on a slow night for golf and you bring a little like stereo and you're just with your friends and nobody else around, crank it up, have fun.
Yeah.
But don't do it when the course is packed and you're just being a jackass.
Yeah. I mean, as I've played golf more, I've gotten a little more serious because you start to get some good hits and you get that feel. You're like, oh, I understand why this is fun, So then in turn, you just kind of get a little more serious about it because it's fun to play well.
Mm-hmm.
So then that kind of stuff before didn't bother me, but as I get a little better, I'm trying to, I guess, focus more on playing, and it starts that. Then now it's starting to bug me, and it didn't before.
All these things on this list kind of just throw you out mentally.
Yeah.
So that's why they're annoying, is because they can just throw you off mentally, which ruins your whole game.
Yeah. It's hard to mentally come back once you're off the ship, per se.
Yeah.
And then, so another one is closing the grass range when it's still nice out. Like, I guess when season is technically over,
But it's still 90 out.
or even it's like, 80 with the breeze, it's perfect time, and they close the grass tee boxes down. And I personally like hitting off the grass better because if you hit off the mat, you can hit behind the ball and you can still get like a good hit off it because your club just hits and like kind of slides and bounces and it makes it look good. Well, if you're on the grass, you'll take that fat dip and or that chunk, I guess we'd call it, your divot before the ball, and you'll be like, all right, I hit that wrong. Well, then if you practice on mats all the time and then you go play,
It's completely different.
yeah, you'll be hitting behind the ball every time, and you're like, well, why am I hitting behind the ball? I was hitting good on the range. Well, because you hit the freaking turf mat and it slid forward and actually helped you do better.
I mean, unless you can pick the ball perfectly every time, then hitting off the mats. Because I definitely take a small chunk behind every ball I hit. So when I play off the mats, I'll bounce it up and it'll either hit the ball in the middle of it or I'll top it. And it's just it just
Doesn't help
my swing. It just makes it worse.
Does not help.
Because you try to overcompensate when you get on the actual course. It's just a completely different swing. We're not professionals here, so we can't pick the ball perfectly every time.
Yeah.
So then I'd say the next one is the days where you can't swing to save your life.
Like you forgot how to play golf.
You could go 1 week and hit great shots all day. You go out the next week and you're like, is this my first time playing golf? Like, have I ever picked a golf club up before? You're chunking, topping, and shanking everything. You can't even get close to hitting a good shot at all.
Don't even feel comfortable in your stance. Like, you're like, what am I holding in my hand here? What is
Nothing feels right. The backswing, the downswing, your stance, everything just feels wrong. You just can't get in position.
Like that happened to me this summer. Like I started playing really well. I had like 2 really good weeks, 3 really good weeks. My drive was going straight. I was playing well. I was getting like some pars or birdie, instead of getting like a double or triple bogey, I'd get a bogey. And then, so we're catching up to actually getting really close to beating our scramble mates that we play against. And then after that, yeah. But after that, it was like the 3rd or 4th week, or the 3rd week of playing well, for me, everything just kind of went to shit. It was like everything that I had been picking up that made me do better, gone. I didn't feel comfortable in my stance with my driver, which is a big one for me because that's the main thing I slice. I've always been kind of decent with my irons.
Well, that has also to do with you got new irons and new drivers.
Yeah,
too, so.
I did do that. When I hit them good, they go though.
Yeah. Big difference too is if you buy new clubs, once you finally learn, I'm not saying like, oh, I got the next year's version. I'm talking like if you start out with shitty clubs.
I went some from like cheap Chinese 1-length Maisels to I got the Cobra, which I have the video on my page. The Cobra 1-length 7-iron 1-length Speed Zone, whatever the hell they're
I had
called.
some cheap like blades from like 2001. And then I bought a set of TaylorMade M6s. And as soon as I started using those, they're just so much more forgiving, and they hit so much farther, and they just feel better. It's just crazy to think I even use those piece of junk before I got my new clubs.
Yeah, because those first ones I was using, I'd hit my 8-iron. I'd think it was around 120 if I hit it well, 130. Well, now I pull my 8-iron out for 140 range, confident, and I could hit it 150 if I really catch it pure. I don't just I'm not a little off center or anything.
Like the other day when I hit that nice light 8-iron, 165 yards right into somebody's park.
That was funny though.
Probably completely pure. And was like, well, didn't think that was ever going to happen.
Yeah. Well, in my last video that I put on here, I did my 7-iron only, and I like terrible off the tee box because it's weird going on a tee box on a par 4. That's almost 500 yards with a 7-iron. But then whenever I did catch it good on my 4th hit or whatever it was, I actually hit it. I think I did the math. It was like 160 or 170. I'd never hit my old 7-iron. I'd hit that. I'd assume it was 140 range. It'd never gone that far.
That's really good for your distance. His distances are starting to get better now.
Well, my swings developed a lot better as well. I used to be way down here. Then I started making the videos, and I saw what people were telling me that mentally I thought I was doing, and now I kind of brought it up here more. And it changes a lot. I recommend recording yourself if you're trying to get better at golf, because if you have your mental vision of what's going on with your swing, but
it doesn't look anything like what you think
no, because you think you're swinging well, and you're not.
You're like, oh man, I look like a PGA pro. And you take a picture, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? That's terrible.
Yeah, I know why I suck now.
So then,
but being paired with a random, which this one isn't that annoying, but it depends on the random person. Because like me and my wife, like Term I was telling you with, we played with 2 people, but we got paired with them randomly one Sunday. It was a busier Sunday, and we got paired, and they turned out to be like pretty cool as him and his girlfriend. So like that worked out fine. We made a golf friends out of it.
It's like when you play on a Saturday morning, you have 4 people set up to play, and the 4th one doesn't show up. Then they'll be like, well, we got this solo we're going to put in your group. Who wants that?
He doesn't want it. We don't want it.
So the way you stop doing that is you say, oh yeah, our 4th's on the way, even if you know they're not coming, then just play with 3.
Yeah.
But it's not a big thing we have to deal with really that much, but when you do, it's pretty annoying.
It's always like a weird tension. Like it's like a random person that you don't know anything about being put into your group of people who all act a certain way, and you guys know your jokes. And you got to feel this person out. Like, well, can we still joke around with each other with this person here? Are they going to be one of those people that get mad if you're trying to just play and have fun?
So you just got like having playing against or an angry person, but you're just playing with somebody you have no idea if you're making it or not. So it's just more awkward than annoying. And so, I mean, like my brother, he lives in California. He goes out and plays. Every single time he plays, they pair him up with a random person. He's like, I would not enjoy that personally. But, I mean, you're a very social person, I guess. Like making friends with a lot of new people, it's a good way to do it for us.
I guess it's good, too, if, like, you're the only one of your group of friends who plays golf. It's a good way for you to make golf friends in that sense. But, like, we have a group we play with, and we kind of have some people that play to where we could replace if someone can't come.
Yeah.
So it's not good for us because we have our dynamic we like. But if you don't have any golf friends, that's a good way to meet people to play golf with, so you don't have to play alone.
Yeah, we just don't like it. It doesn't work for us as well.
Yeah.
Then I'd say our last one is like the magical thing where every single hole you're hitting straight into the wind. The wind's in your face.
Nonstop.
You go play this way, the next hole's back that way, and the wind's still in your face. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. We've had a few times, like, I don't know why. I don't know, but it's like there's this our golf course in our city we live in. There's one hole that's right here going this way, and then the other one is literally directly next to it going that way. So, but when you played, if it's windy out, it's like the wind is blowing this way when you're on hole 4 going that way. And then you're like, all right, well, this will be fine on hole 5 because it's a longer par 5. And then you get onto that tee box, and then you drive a little bit up past the tee box because you're like, well, my drive was short or whatever. And then you get there and you just feel the wind somehow coming from the other direction. Like the wind is like,
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's Mother Nature, but it's annoying. So, just one of our honorable mentions. So.
it's just, nature giving us a good excuse to suck.
Always a good reason to, throw Mother Nature out. Be like, oh, I'd have hit that good if the wind was good.
Really windy up there, it pushed my ball away right.
Squirrel. That's why I missed the green.
Yeah.
But that's the end of our list currently. If you have something, we missed or you think that you should add, put in the comments.
Yeah, if we get enough, we can do a second video based off y'all's comments and whatnot, what y'all think, and let you guys rank them in the whatever,
And the plan for this podcast isn't only going to be golf. I mean, we'll probably have golf ones, but then we'll do other subjects, topics,
Yep.
Kind of try to keep it fresh. It won't only be golf, so.
Try to keep it fun, original, Just everyday life shit.
Yeah. If you have an idea for a podcast you want to hear us talk about,
If you want to hear two Midwestern people talk about something,
let us know.
get our good Midwestern valued opinion.
I guess you want to sign us off?
Yeah, well, that was Stiff Shafts. Hope you like it. Got any fresh ideas, things we could do better? This is the first one. We'd like to keep it going, try to do every week. So we're going to put it on my YouTube, and then I think we'll probably try to put it on like Spotify, and there's a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. Probably not going to do that. That's too much work. But so let us know what we could do better, what you guys think, and like the video on YouTube and subscribe. I don't know what the hell you do on podcast or on Spotify. Listen, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But we want your guys' feedback on this stuff and what we could do better, what you liked about it, what you didn't like. And so thanks, guys. Peace out.
Peace.